Hello everyone, once again I have a technical difficulty. Happy New Year to each and everyone. Um, I am from Dubai at the moment and it's 8:20 here in Dubai. I don't know where your country, where you are at. Probably in your country is dinner time, probably close to daytime like in Cuba, it's the morning time. However, I would like to have a topic today, and I have kept two different topics because in the beginning my idea was to just talk about Happy New Year and uh, you know the whole idea about New Year and New Year celebration. So today I have two topics to start with. One of the topic is the cigar I'm smoking, which is a lighter bodied cigar, and that is a Hoyo Epicure No. 2, a Robusto size cigar. Robusto as in 124 millimeter in length with a 50 ring size, very classic size. Uh, Nearly almost all brands got a Robusto in their portfolio. So the reason why I picked this cigar today, first of all, I did not smoke a cigar today until now. So because yesterday night was too many cigars and so on, and then today was a busy day, being the the first working day, let's say. So I choose this particular cigar because this cigar has a big connection with anyone's cigar smoking pleasure. This cigar has a unique taste. It is easy to get connected with anyone. It is easier to smoke. It is a very unique flavor. You don't need to be a brave heart to smoke this cigar. This cigar is larger in strength. It is very special. It is softer touch, and you can start this easy any time of the day. So my respect and tribute to Hoyo Epicure No. 2, one of the most classic light-bodied cigar ever made by Habanos. And the story of the Hoyo is dating back from many years. So it's hundreds of years of legacy. This is a blend created from 1960s. So it's very unique, it's very special. And I want each and every one of you to try a Hoyo Epicure No. 2 in your cigar smoking lifestyle. And I highly recommend this cigar as a newbie as well as for an aficionado who is smoking for many years. Now it's time to talk to each one of you. So let's start the comments because I can see your comments are popping up. So the first one here is Fretter Benson. Hi, I figured it out in the end because I tried to be online a couple of times, and one of my friend messaged me and he told me that the comment is off, and that's the reason that he's not able to comment. So it's working, which is a great news. I'm not that technically advanced guy, even though I look like one, because being in the social media, these kind of small things can matter. Greetings from Cape Town, V27 in honor, Manido, South Africa. I have many friends from South Africa. Many people live in UAE from South Africa. I don't know you know about that. In the UAE, they have a lot of expatriates from South Africa, cigar smokers. Otherwise, I would not mention, because that's the only connection I have with all these ethnicity. So hello, greetings and Happy New Year to you. And Mehta Pistol Wala, what we feel after smoking cigar. Oof, what we feel. Depends on the blend of the cigar, the strength of the cigar. If you always say this, if you're in a bad mood, smoke a cigar, so your mood will change to a better mood. If you are in a good mood, smoke a cigar, so your good mood will multiply. So cigar, it gives you that positive energy. It gives you that positive vibe. It gives you that kind of time and feel for you. The moment you're smoking the cigar, the moment you're enjoying the cigar, it takes you to another level. It takes you to a feel which is very higher than where you are. And it's a me time. It is very relaxing. It is very meditative. It is very special moment. And you don't need a certain kind of beverage to it. You can actually enjoy a good cigar like me having a cup of tea and easy, a nice weather, great outdoor. I'm just connecting with you online. I feel already great when I lit up my cigar. So what cigar gives you is this kind of energy. By the way, Cubans, I'm talking about the campesinos, the farmers, the people who really make the tobacco, they look at the cigar leaves not just as a production of leaves, a production of something to sell. They don't look at it like that. For them, smoking a cigar and growing tobacco is first is a tradition, but then second is they believe in it like a religion. So they say that when you smoke a cigar or when you connect with the tobacco, there are good vibes comes from this leaf, and they believe in it. Some they can call it like superstitious, some they can call it like too much of conversation. However, I personally believe it. I have never seen someone who smokes a cigar who is in a bad mood. They're always in a great mood, and if they come in a bad mood, they change their mood to a positive one. So it's a great product to get. It's a great, passionate product to make you feel better. So in simple words, what cigar give you is make you feel better. Automobile Gallery, very nice, sir. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much for being here. Living good, brother. You nailed it. You said it. Relaxed. Absolutely. And that's the feeling you get. You're relaxed. And that relaxation sometimes you need in a day, what kind of work you do. You have a kind of job. You have pressures in your daily life. You smoke a cigar. It settles everything. It makes you think properly, clear head. And then you can get great ideas when you smoke a cigar. Happy New Year, brother. Stupid poo head. Yeah, yo, dude. Yo, man. Yo. Jay, greetings from the UK. Just wanted to wish you a very happy New Year. Just a quick question. What cigar would you recommend for breakfast time with a black coffee before I have eaten anything? Hey, Jay, listen. I normally don't smoke a cigar immediately waking up without having anything in my stomach. I highly recommend you to have something before you smoke a cigar. Even though it is a light-bodied cigar, I understand that you may have an urge to smoke a cigar the moment you wake up. But the best practice could be have a glass of water to start with, because you need moisture in your body. You have a glass of water, if not more, maybe you can have more than one glass of water. Cleanse your body, let it dilute a little bit. You need that moisture in your body. It gives your skin glow. It makes your eyes precious, so they make it rolling. Once you have finished that particular part, you can start to think about a light breakfast. Light in the sense, if you are not a person that you are heavy on breakfast. For example, Italians, they don't believe in breakfast. They wake up in the morning, they have a glass of water, they have their espressito, then immediately they go to work. Sometimes they have a little croissant and that's it. There is no Italian culture which helps a lot in breakfast. It's changing. I'm talking about old school. So they start with a Toscanello, an Italian cigar. I don't know how to call it cigar, but it looks like a cigar. It's like a perfecto size. It's a Kentucky tobacco. We call it Toscanos. So they start with a Toscano with an espresso. That's their ritual. So if you wanted to go with a ritual of that sort, you can go with a cigarillo. But then a cigar, a premium 100% handmade cigar, you need something in your stomach. Something light. I'm not telling you to have a big breakfast. Something light. Eat a biscuit, have a tea, then you smoke a cigar. And that gives a different pleasure zone no matter what. And smoke a lighter bodied cigar or a light to medium bodied cigar. In this way you can smoke more later in the day. But if you start with a Partagas D4 or a Salomon in the morning, what are you going to smoke later? You got to smoke a Cohiba Behike for lunch and for dinner. You got to go stronger and stronger. So start with something like a Hoyo Epicure No. 2, a Paul Larrañaga Petit Corona. You can go with even Achievement Half Corona, Achievement Magnum 46. Achievement Majestic, Achievement Regalias. These are the cigars which is light medium, is beautiful, and that goes very well with black coffee, and even with black coffee with milk or without milk, it goes very well. All right, so I'm having a breakfast cigar per se now. Gabriel Fairete, I don't know how to pronounce your second name, brother. Open your suit jacket when you sit down, gentlemen. That's not spezzatura, much respect. Mi hermanito Gabriele. Mira eso. Esta no es una jaca, eh? This is a Gillette. Capish? This is a Gillette. Esta no jaca. Like you said, when a gentleman sits, you open the jacket. But spezzatura, senor, you cannot remove this because this is a Gillette. You know what is a Gillette? I think you understand that. So, like you imagine that I'm not sitting with the jacket without opening the button. Sometimes in my video I forget it, but that's a different story. But then when I'm comfortably smoking a cigar, I'm with my comfortable situation because this is not a show business I'm doing. This is a conversation I'm doing with you. But when I do my shots, yes, there is some little bit of, you need that move. You need that dance move. That's why the jacket and everything. However, this is a Gillette, so you can take it easy, Gabriel. So I follow your advice. And thank you very much for mentioning it so that, we give information back to our friends. V27, thank you, Mr. Good. So Jasim, your content always next level and almost everything about the cigar world I learned from your channel. Brother, I just started YouTube, so I have so much more to give it back to you. You have no idea how many informations back in my brain which I want to share, because every day my friends call me for meetings and having a conversation. The amount of information there is in this camaraderie and cigar smoking lifestyle is amazing. I learn a lot from people around me as well. So, this is the one-on-one conversation which I can have in YouTube. So there is a lot more to come. I have a lot of information which I want to share with you. Technical details, what's the good things to do. Watch my last video, the rituals about the cigars. And that is something which I took a lot of time. It was a 40 minutes video. It took me a lot of time to talk about it. But however, all the information there is a lot of content. I can make 3 videos out of it or 4 videos out of it. But I'm trying to keep it simple so that people can enjoy when they are in the gym, when they are smoking a cigar, so that you don't feel like you're watching something, but then the day goes, you're driving, because many friends told me that, Jasim, your videos, I watch it when I'm driving. So they put the headset and then boom, an hour in traffic, easy, you reach home. So V27, thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much for your love and friendship. I like your videos, Automobile Gallery, gracias. Mohammed Al-Brair, I'm sorry, brother, I'm not able to understand Arabic, but I expect that what you're saying is something, Happy New Year or something like that. Same to you. Is the Hoyo Epicure number 2 strong in nicotine? No, brother, it is not. Like the quantity, the ash fell off. So while I'm talking, of course, the cigar is not, it's not in the perfect heat moment, so it is going off. Let me relight. So it's not a strong cigar in nicotine. It's a lighter blend. It does not mean that your nicotine is much less. But however, the Hoyo Epicure number 2 specifically, it is a smoothest cigar in a Robusto format you can imagine. It's lighter, sweet, subtle, so perfect to smoke any time of the day. And it goes perfectly as a day smoke, evening smoke. So one of my friends tells me, when in doubt, smoke Partagas D4. So I say, when in doubt, smoke a Hoyo. You know why? Because when in doubt, you smoke a Partagas D4 in the morning and you are in doubt. If you start with a Partagas D4, that doubt is not that great because you end up having a strong cigar. So when in doubt, smoke a Hoyo Epicure number 2 because it's light, you can smoke more, and it gives you that happiness, what you're looking for. It has nicotine as as enough as you require, but then it's not super powerful nicotine content. It has a nicotine because it's a Robusto size cigar, and it has enough nicotine for you to enjoy that part, because so many of our friends smoke cigars for the nicotine aspect too. So yes, there is nicotine, it's not too strong. Lior, what kind of GMM are you wearing? Is it Quintin? Yes, it is. I don't know, it is Quintin. It's Stret or Quintin. I don't remember, brother, because I buy a lot of it. So I think it's Stret. I think it's Stret. Search it. It's either Quintin or Stret because it came on the same time. Abdul Rahman Albro, hi, Happy New Year, Jasim. Same to you, brother. Good luck, much better. Gracias. Okay, Thaddeus Powell, Happy New Year from US. Unfortunately for me, I have not had the opportunity to smoke a Cuban cigar. Although one of my favorite cigars is the Hoyo Epicure No. 2, great smoke. I understand the challenges what you face in United States. I understand that if you find a Cuban cigar in there, it's way too pricey. Sometimes it's not easy approachable. You know, it's not about the money as in like, oh, it is take $100. It's about that, you know, how can you spend $200 for a cigar which is next door selling for $50? So it does not make sense, but sometimes we have to, depends on the occasion. Maybe a Cohiba Behike on a festive time, people don't think twice, they just buy it because they need it at that time. But Epicure No. 2 is not like that. You know, it's a daily smoke, it's an easy smoke, so you cannot spend too much money in the gray market. I get it completely. But if you ever come to UAE, you will have the Epicure No. 2 in abundance. I hope there will be enough cigars by the time you come, because cigars are getting back. It's coming back. So it was difficult a few months back, but then now the cigars are coming back. So yes, the US part is a little bit difficult. However, you have great cigars in US. You have Arturo Fuente cigars, you have Oliva, you have Davidoff. So if you look into Arturo Fuente line, you know, I would highly recommend you can go with a Magnum Rosado, a 40, a 50 is good. A 50 and 52 Magnum Rosado is Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. It's Rosado, so it's Ecuadorian wrapper and Dominican filler. It's light to medium in strength. It reminds me, it's no comparison whatsoever, but it reminds me of a very soft-spoken cigar in comparison or in reference to Opus X. So you can buy these cigar, and good value for money too for Rosado. Rosado, the starting price of Rosado is very approachable. It's actually equal price to an Epicure No. 2, so which is great. So you can find that in US. Try the Magnum Rosado R, and if you're a little bit more ambitious, you can go with Don Carlos Robusto. Very interesting cigar, because the Don Carlos Robusto is the wrapper is Cameroon wrapper, so that gives a little bit of sweetness, a little bit more richness. So Don Carlos is much more stronger than Rosado. So either the Rosado Magnum R, a 50 or a 52, or else Don Carlos for US. Thomas Bonani, Jasim, same to you, brother. Happy New Year. This year will be great. Hopefully better than all the years we have been through, and good things coming up. Great energy, great vibe, positivity. So it's gonna be great this year and the coming years. Jay, okay, great answer. Thank you so much for the advice. Your depth of knowledge is always welcome. Gracias, hermano. I do what I can and share as much information as I could. Matthias Moraes says, ¿Cuánto conhecerá ao Brasil? No sé, hermano. I don't know. I don't speak Portuguese, but I can reply to you in Spanish or English. I don't know when I'm coming to Brazil, but inshallah, one of these days. Inshallah is a term we use in UAE, which says God willing. So God willing, one of these days, I will reach up to Brazil. I have great friends in Brazil, though. I have Alexander Avilar, who's Hombre Habano. He lives in Brazil, so I'm going to see him in Cuba for the festival. So one of these days, why not? Gabriel Firte says, I apologize, you are the best. Gracias, hermano. No, I know that I'm wearing black, so you probably don't notice because both of them are black. So you might have seen that I'm wearing like a jacket. It's all cool, man. Awesome style, V27, my good sir. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your appreciation. Kevin Ramirez, thank you for your knowledge. I love the way you explain. I would say that, I don't practice it, I think you can understand from my video that I don't have an idea that what I'm talking sometimes, meaning I don't prepare for it. I just go and think like, okay, what's the topic today? And I simply talk. And I personally don't believe in multiple editing, because anyone can be an influencer or a YouTuber if you edit 100 times. But I believe in a casual conversation with people that makes it really perfect for the people to listen to. And unless I make a big mistake, I have to edit, of course. But in general, I don't have big editing in the video. The major editing part is coming in the shots, because the style and stuff. So you need to edit a lot there. Matthias, when will you visit Brazil? Yes, I think I replied to you soon. Thomas, Happy New Year. You are the best. Thank you for your video, brother. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate. Thank you very much for your friendship. More cigars. Are you gonna be nominated for another Habanos category? No. Mo, my man, listen. See, Hombre Habano is a Lifetime Achievement Award. You're not gonna get nominated every year. It's not like, maybe people will think like it's an Oscars, because people connect like an equivalent way of Oscars. If every year there is a good movie, they get more Oscars. But Hombre Habano is not like that. Hombre Habano comes in 3 categories. One is business, they call it commerce. And the second category is farming, production. And the third category is communication. So the first category, commerce, is for the people who own the business and sell cigars, as in the entrepreneurs. The man who sells a lot of cigars, or the man who make a big representation of the brand in different countries. It does not have to be more cigars you sell. It has to be a lot of passion in what he does in his country. So it could be a country in Africa, and yesterday there was no cigar, and today there is cigar, and he did a magnificent job to establish a cigar culture. So he get an Hombre Habano in commerce. When it comes to farm, the production, it's only for Cubans. The people from the Vinales, the people from Pinar del Rio, they make the tobacco leaf. They are the backbone of the industry. They create the tobacco leaves in the lands of the precious lands of Cuba, and in Pinar del Rio specifically. So they're farmers. So the second category only goes with Cubans. The third category is communication, and that's what I won last year. And the communication is about talking about cigar culture worldwide. Communication is all about education. Communication is all about sharing. Communication is all about making this product more than it is supposed to be. Meaning, let's say Hoyo Epicure No. 2 is a product which has been made before 1960s. It's a pre-revolution cigar. But today, when we talk about it, you are giving the knowledge to people. What is it? How is it to be smoked? What are you expecting from it? These kind of things, creating the Habano culture a global phenomenon. And that's communication, and that's the category I won. So I don't know, they will give me another one. I don't think so, because it's not in the portfolio. You only win it once. I'm so lucky and happy that I got it when I'm very young, because most of the time the Hombre Habano comes in your doorstep when you are nearly 80 years old. So I'm happy that it come very early. And the best part of Hombre Habano, you will get a box of cigar until you die. So, when you get Hombre Habano when you are young, you get more boxes until you die. So if I have a natural death without much challenges, hopefully. So Abdurrahman, look, Fred Benson, have you ever been to Netherlands or Germany? In Netherlands, we have great cigars. Come also rolled in Indonesia. I have been to Netherlands once, but many years ago. And I know that Netherlands have restrictions in where you can smoke cigars. You cannot have a cigar lounge and so on. I have friends in Netherlands who sell cigars, Dutch cigars, if you know him, the tall guy. So he is one of the retailer for Habanos, and he have great cigars. I see him every year in Cuba. I just met him in Cyprus. He was there. And yes, Netherlands is a great country. They used to have another guy in Netherlands, but then he sold his property to Dutch Cigars and he moved to Antwerp, Reza. So I met Reza also. Every year, every event I go, I meet Reza, even Cyprus, Italy, Cuba. So yes, I know Netherlands very well, and some also rolled in Indonesia. I'm not a big fan of Indonesian cigars. Probably I did not try many, but then I understand that Indonesia has a big culture, the Sumatra leaves to start with. And they have specific taste in the cigar blend, and it's emerging. I will not be surprised if there is an Indonesian cigar which is in the level of high-end premium cigars from the non-Cuban world, such as Dominican Republic and Nicaragua or Honduras in that matter. Greetings from Poland. Happy New Year, brother. Work, play hard. I think it's work hard, play hard, right? I think that's your name. Hi there. Where are you located? It seemed to be a very nice place to get Cubans. I'm located in the United Arab Emirates, specifically Dubai. It's Middle East. It's closer to Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and Kuwait. So we are the jewel in Middle East. And yes, we do get a lot of good cigars here. So that's the best part. We have big taxes, but we get good cigars. It's not as reasonably priced as in Europe, but for some products. For Cohiba and Trinidad, we are equal at the moment. After the new price high came in, the price of Cohiba and Trinidad, we are fine. We are equal to European market, but then comparatively, we are slightly expensive. But then it is what it is. The government takes 100% taxes. Obwan, a new cigar smoker, trying not to inhale, but I don't know how to bring in the smoke without inhaling. It's all here. Try to retrohale. All you have to do is to consciously think in your brain. Don't let the smoke go to your lungs. You just let go through your nose or your mouth. When you smoke cigarette in your lifestyle, you subconsciously start to inhale, and that's where your brain has to come in business, and so that you don't inhale. So if you have a tendency to inhale, I highly recommend you not to smoke too many stronger cigars. Smoke lighter cigars per se, so that will help you to develop. Until you reach and confirm that no more inhaling, you're practicing with a lighter body cigar. So for a worst case scenario, if you inhale, it won't affect you drastically like a powerful cigar. So it's all about practice, Obwan, and you have to really practice and connect your brain when you smoke the cigar. So in this way, you will practice it. I have seen so many people in my life who are a cigarette smoker, and they have the tendency in the beginning, but then later they change it. So it's all about here. Abdul Rahman Albert, is it true that the prices for the 24th Habanos Festival increased by 20%? No, I don't say 20%. No, this is, people like to talk about, they like to talk bad about Habanos, and I don't know why. So last year, the total price of the Habanos Festival was 3,100 euros. So this year is 3,595. However, you don't have to pay for auction if you're not buying the humidor. If you're buying the humidor of, $1 million minimum, you don't have to pay that 200 euros. You only have to pay rest of the packages, where you have the intermediate night, the welcome night, and the grand gala, as well as the plantations and factories. So it is not increased like super high or anything, but it's worth it. Believe me, it's worth it. It's worth it 100% Abdul Rahman. It's worth it because you will get more than 25 cigars. If you are able to, you can get more than 30 cigars come to you. Do the math. And they bring things to that island from, I don't know how they do it. Even today, for me, it's a mystery that a gala dinner, it's such an experience. The music and the performance, what they bring in from Cuba is insane. You know, you will never see such a performance on in a normal festive moment. The celebration, what they create in the Habanos Festival, 1,800 to 2,000 people in one area. And they are witnessing this golden moment, 4 hours of extravagant celebration. And the music and the dancing and the performance of this ballet, performance of the dancers are something unbelievable. You probably won't find something like that anywhere in the globe, except maybe in US, in Las Vegas or somewhere of that sort. But then I would say that Cuban Habanos Festival is best of 3 in the world when it comes to performance. And the cigars. You are the first one to try these cigars in the world. Only 1,800 or 1,000 people, depends on the participation, will be able to try this cigar firsthand. You know, until now, the Partagas Maestra is not launched, meaning it is released in the event, but then, it's launched in the event, but it's not released to the public in the market yet. It's an year. So the people who went for the Habanos Festival in 2023, they had the opportunity to smoke one and to keep one. All the 3 selections. So that never happens, you know, and then this 3,500 is worth 100%. There is no doubt about it. The most expensive part is not actually the registration. The most expensive part is the air ticket as well as the stay, and you want to buy cigars. Mostly the air ticket. For us, the most expensive part is the air ticket because it's very expensive in the beginning of the year. And if you don't book in advance, you get a very high price. Some of my friends can only travel in business because, not because they are posh, because they have medical challenges. So they wanted to travel in business class, and business class costs $15,000, $20,000. So that's a lot of money, So that is expensive. Yes, so Obwan asked me, what is the lightest cigar? The lightest cigars are Hoyo de Monterrey brand, incomplete. Some cigars in Hoyo de Monterrey is high in nicotine, but it's lighter bodied. And 𝘾𝙗𝙗 d'Orsay, it's a great cigar. I would highly recommend Por Larrañaga brand as well. And 𝘃𝙗𝙗𝙢𝙗, great cigar, light to medium bodied blend. So these are the cigars which is very light and very easy to smoke and very approachable cigar. And you can smoke these cigars every day, anytime. Start your day with a Hoyo Epicure No. 2 or an Epicure No. 1 or a Por Larrañaga Petit Coronas or a Por Larrañaga Monte Carlos. It's a little bit difficult to find it. It's not about the money because actually it's a $250 cigar, a box of 25. But, it's very difficult to get it. Kenny, hello Jasmine. My name is Jasim, but it happens to me all the time. Everybody calls me Jasmine, so don't worry, okay? Don't worry, Kenny. Most of my friends, not friends, my acquaintances, if they know me very well, they call me Jasim. Otherwise, in the beginning, they always call me Jasmine, normal. So Happy New Year. How do you feel about the price hike of Habano cigars across the board? I'm not a big fan of price hike. As you can imagine, my interest is not in terms of the sales, right? My interest is about as many people smoke the cigar and enjoy, I'm more happy. So this price hike had changed a little bit of that game, making it very difficult for so many youngsters and so many people who are approaching the Habanos in the beginning. So price hike is inevitable. If you look into anything today, look into the prices of cars, look into the prices of real estate, look into the prices of anything else, cost of living had gone up. So for cigars, we are burning them. We may feel that, wow, how can I burn a $500 cigar? I get it completely. But the funny part about cigars, specifically from Cuba, the cigars were initially sold so cheap. So now they're fixing the prices. So if you remember the history, if you go back to the history of Christopher Columbus, and he's coming back to Europe and then going back to Cuba again, and then trying to do business with Cuba and colonization and everything else, the tobacco was the most expensive crop from Cuba to ship out from Cuba. The most expensive product at one point in the world was tobacco. Tobacco bales, not bales, the tobacco bunches were equivalent to a house in prices. Tobacco was so restrictive. Tobacco was always under the taxation. So it have changed because the industrialization came, the tobacco become mechanized. The cigarettes started coming in, different variety of tobacco started to be sold in the different parts of the world. It become easier and approachable. But cigars were always sold cheaper from Cuba, and now they're fixing the prices. So given that, I don't think it's a bad thing, because Cuba requires money, and to make good products they need money to invest. This is a controversial subject. Like, people can say that how much money goes back to the farmers. I understand completely. But it's a state-owned, and then it has the business which is 50% owned by China now. So you have your problems there. Yes, I agree. But tobacco was always sold cheaper. It's become difficult, especially for youngsters, to approach, because if I'm in my 20s, and I'm a college student, I can't afford, certain cigars. I have to smoke something different. So I always recommend this. If you are a youngster, if you don't have so much cash with you to buy and enjoy his lifestyle, there is a cigar for every pocket in Cuba. Let's talk about, apple to apple. How much it cost a Por Larrañaga Petit Corona? A cab of 50, it's approximately $400. So a cab of 50, $400. We're talking about $15 cigar, or even 10, depends on the country you buy it. In Cuba, it will be even less. So that is the price of the product. It's $10, $15 cigar. I'm in a cafe. Look at this. This is a San Pellegrino water, brought from Italy. This is $12, $10 here. $10 for 500 ml of water. And that's the price we pay. A tea, look at that. A tea is another $10. And that's the price here. Unfortunately, the cost of living had gone up globally. So back in the time, it was sold cheap. So naturally, Habanos have taken a step to increase the price. Of course, it does not make big logic to increase the price of a cigar such as this, which is a Trinidad Reyes, to price it for $40. That does not really make logic to me, but that's known as brand elevation. They cannot just keep the Reyes for $10 and make the Esmeralda $100. That's not going to work, right? Because then it's not a brand elevation. It is a selection elevation, and they can't do it. They have to do brand elevation. So we can have this topic on another segment, because it's a long conversation. You and me can spend an hour or two on this topic. So yes, that's my viewpoint, Kenny. Mahmoud Bao, sir, I have simple questions. Do you like Siglo 6 or Esplendidos? I assume that you say Esplendidos, or Pyramidas Extra. Out of 3, this is a tough question, brother. You know why? The Siglo 6 is a medium bodied blend, and Esplendido is a medium to full, and so does the Pyramidas Extra. So I'm going to rule out Pyramidas Extra. It's not my favorite because it's big cigar for me. It's a 54 ring size. I'm going to stay with Esplendidos, which is a very classic Churchill. I'm in love with that size. So my preference would be Esplendidos if I like something longer and richer. Otherwise, I go with Siglo 6. Siglo 6 has that kind of feel when you smoke. It's perfect. It is medium. It does not overpower your palate. It is a perfect cigar. Esplendidos, probably, a little bit more rich. So if I have to smoke a cigar from Cohiba every day, I stay with the Siglo 6. I know. If I have to smoke one cigar in a week, I can go with Esplendido. Lancero, I cannot say that because I like to smoke Lancero a lot. So anyway, great question. So I'm going to go with Siglo 6 and Esplendidos in this. How is the Añejo line? I never tried. Is it good? How does it taste to you? I'm assuming that you're talking about the Añejo from Arturo Fuente. So, hi, peace. We have somebody working here coming live. We are in the cafe.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. So, what was our question? So, Añejo, yes. So, Añejo, I'm assuming that you're asking about Arturo Fuente. Yes, Añejo has a speciality, right? Because Añejo is aged in barrels, specifically cognac barrels. And one of the Añejo is specific than the rest of it. The most beautiful Añejo from Arturo Fuente is the Añejo Shark 77, which when you smoke it, you will feel the forest fruits. How would I put it? Forest fruits, right? The blackberry, blueberry, raspberry family. You feel that. You feel that in the cigar. The sweetness on that cigar is amazing, but the strength is so rich. So you have that strength connected with the sweetness. Oh my God. The contrast is like Negroni with the cigar. And it's amazing. And Arturo Fuente is, when you smoke Arturo Fuente, it is slightly acidic to my palate. So it creates saliva in my palate, which makes it so yummy. So it's a great cigar in simple words. I just went deep in it, but great cigar. Mehtab Pistol Wala, I am a big fan of cigars, but it's hard to find premium cigars in Pakistan. I understand you, brother. I understand you very well. Because Pakistan does not have an official distributor. They have retailers, yes. But then, you don't have a company that really says La Casa Habano or an official distribution. So, because the country itself have challenges, you know your country very well, military regime and a lot of issues with politically. So that's the reason. Once all of that gonna change, it will change as well. And I have been told that Pakistan have a lot of fake cigars as well. So you have to be careful when you buy the cigar. Buy it from the official sources. My man is there, Usman, Cigar PK, touch base with him and he probably will guide you to get the best cigars on a better price. Ameen, inshallah. Ameen, inshallah. I don't know what is that sign means. It looks like a pear. Salute. Faizan, assalamu alaikum, cigar man. Alaikum assalam, my brother. Curious question by Freda. Oh, sorry. My phone is not in a stand, right? A curious question. Why do you always have a pin of a bee on your suit? Great question. You're right. So this is my one of my favorite. I don't know how can I call it. I don't call it insect because insect is something else. For me, it is a separate category. I'm not a big zoology guy. Is it zoology? Zoology talks about this. Zoology talks about plants. I think it's biology. Anyway, so I'm not a big understanding person for all these animals comes in which category. For me, bee, okay, this is big. For me, bee is life. Pollen, how they make the honey. So for me, bee, if you look into the story of the bee being the bee woman, the female bee, and the male bee. So there is a queen in the bee family she's the boss, right? So if you can look into it, that is a female bee. So this is the queen. So I keep my queen close to my body, not the heart because it's supposed to be here. I have a big heart, so the queen has a great connection. I love bee. Back in the time when I was sending messages to people in WhatsApp as well as in social media, I always put a bee in the end as an emoticon, and it became viral. Everybody know me for my love affair with bee. When I talk about Cohiba, I put bee. When I talk about Behiques, I put bee because it's honeylicious. It is tasty, it's rich, it's sweet. So one of my best friend, She gifted me this bee this year. I mean, this year meaning my last birthday. She gifted me this, and it's a very special brand made so unique. And I thought that, okay, this is, I mean, no one ever see that like you saw that, because I have a love affair with bee. Great eye, brother. So that's the connection with bee. I love that sweetness, I love the touch of that sweetness, and the powerful stigma behind the story of how the bee create honey. Happy New Year. Make more videos for fake cigars if you can. Definitely, brother. I'm gonna make more videos on fake cigars. I want to give you more education, not to get cheated by someone who called themselves as a Cuban cigar factory's best friend. You know, there is a video I'm preparing about what to expect from a fake cigar and what not to do when you buy a cigar. Meaning, there are certain attributes you have to go in deep into when you buy a cigar. So you will see, you will hear it. It's very difficult for me to say in a few words, but then you will see it in a proper video. What is the best way to clean your palate? Warm water, a tea, sparkling water. It's a great taste. A sparkling water will help. And make sure that you have to always moist your palate when you smoke the cigar. You cannot simply smoke the cigar an hour without moistening your palate. So you always have to make sure the palate is moist with your favorite beverages, with water, cafe, whatever. But then make sure you moist your palate. And cleansing the palate is best with warm water or sparkling water. Warmth is good, so that's why people prefer tea. But many of my friends, they don't like tea, so sparkling water. Do you smoke non-Cubans? Yes, brother, I do smoke non-Cubans. If I don't smoke non-Cubans, how do I know non-Cubans is good or bad? So in order for me to know the cigars are good or bad, you cannot eliminate the part of any non-Cuban cigars, because you have to smoke different variety of cigars to know what is the best and know what is good and bad, right? Otherwise, you can't recommend it. How can I talk about Añejo from Arturo Fuente if I don't smoke Añejo? And for me, everything is education. And, you know, non-Cuban cigars are emerging. They are developing. They are working hard to create the best premium cigars in the world. And, you know, Cuba has been making cigars from centuries, right? But the non-Cuban world is coming up there. If you look into all the major cigar producers today, they started their journey in last 20 or 30 years. So unfortunately, it wasn't there before. So if you give another 100 years, Cuba, you know, non-Cuban cigars will get better and better. There is no doubt about it. It's all about experience and how you work with the tobacco. But the land is the land. The people of know-how is the know-how. The Cuban cigars, it has its charm when it comes to the land. So you can't eliminate it. So Cuban cigars will always excel, no matter how many non-Cuban cigars comes in the world. Cuban cigars will go one step ahead all the time. If you look into what's coming today from non-Cuban world, it's always the copy-paste of Cuban cigars. You know, very few they become creative and inventive, but then rest of the people, they go with, you know, there is a white Churchill came, they make a white Churchill. There is a Linea 1935 from Monte Cristo came, they made another one from Nicaragua from Monte Cristo. Partagas Maestra came, everybody is printing their new boxes with blue color. And the Bolivar new gold medal come, people are trying to put the gold foil. You know, so it's a kind of copy paste, more or less. But there are some unicorns in non-Cuban world, like Opus X, for example, or like Oliva Milenio, or Davidoff Year of Chinese New Year. You know, these kind of things, exceptional pieces will come. But in general, it's basically Cuba makes this, let's go and do that. So Cuba will always excel, there is no doubt about it. Happy New Year, brother Rafa. Y27, if I may ask you some advice, would a air purifier or purification device suffice for my living room with smoking at home? The next day, smell is not so pleasant from the cigars. Okay, so you need an air purification if you are smoking indoor. There is no doubt about it. Because what happens, the air is stuck in your home. You don't have proper ventilation to clean your air out. Normally in a cigar lounge, you have two aspects. You have a duct system, which takes all the air out from the lounge, and then they throw in fresh air. So you have two-way mechanism there. In our living room at home, we don't have the duct system. So when we smoke, the whole air is stuck in your ceiling, in your living room. So that makes, with the moisture, with the humidity around you, it makes it stinky. And you don't want that. So the best thing is to invest in a Dyson. Dyson works magic. Or else you go with another air purifying method. Whatever works, because it cleanses the air very good. So I highly recommend you to invest in this. No doubt about it. Both, man, probably because of the Cohiba colors, man. That's one thing too. Okay, I forgot to mention it. The B has the Cohiba colors, and that's the first reason that I connect B with the Cohiba. Every time I smoke a Cohiba, I put B, and also sweetness, as I mentioned. So the B comes in with the colors, the sweetness, and the great story of B. I don't know what is Mantap means. Faye Daniel, saludo. If the Cohiba Siglo 6 band is 100% similar to the original, is there a possibility that it is fake? Okay, again, let me repeat that question. If the Cohiba Siglo 6 band is 100% similar to the original, when you mention 100% similar to the original, is there a possibility that, of course, there is 100-degree possibility is there. Even if it is an original band. The band can be original. The cigar box can be original, but the cigar could not be original. It depends on your source, brother. You have to think about where it come from. Who is supplying you? What are the details to look in a box? There are box codes on it. There is Cuban currency warranty seal on it. There is Tabacuba seal on it. There is an overall, after all these aspects, you have the band, and the band has a serial number. Band has a fluorescent light writings. You have all these. And in the end, it's not about the band or the boxes. In the end, it is the cigar. So you have to know how the wrapper is. Imagine you have a Cohiba Siglo de Oro. This is a new cigar for the year of rabbit, right? Siglo de Oro. The Siglo de Oro, all the boxes, I hope you can still hear me, not sure. So, because I lost connection a little bit. So Kenny, I'm curious about whether Jasmine smokes other than Cuban cigars. I could imagine that doesn't, which would be sad since there is so many good non-Cuban cigars. Hey Kenny, I do. I think I answered you earlier. I do smoke non-Cuban cigars to learn and be perfect in it. And I think I answered your question earlier. I'm 𝙃𝙖𝙗𝙢𝙗, I'm from India, I'm 13 years old, but I like you and all your videos. Thank you, 𝙃𝙗𝙗𝙗. And smoke the cigars when you are the legal age, and you don't have to smoke starting cigars in 13 years old. So wait for a couple of more years, and then you can start this beautiful lifestyle. From my own experience, I can tell you that it won't suffice. You need a serious air purifier in order to clean the air in your room perfectly, but in combination with ventilation on air purifier. Exactly, brother. Kenny, you nailed it. That's exactly what I'm trying to mention. When is the next festival? The next festival is on 26th of February 2024 until 1st of March. How much did you invest in your journey becoming a tobacconist and opening brick and mortar, if you have one? I don't have a brick and mortar business in terms of cigar retail. No, I work for the official distributor of Habanos. So, I don't have a tobacconist shop or anything. And so in that case, I have no investment either. Amida saying, what you do in your free time? I wish I have so much of free time. No, not really. I have so much things going on, and there is no much free time left anymore, because in a day it's only 24 hours. End of the day, I don't even have time to go to gym anymore. So, it's full on. It's full on. Your girlfriend's name is Jasmine. That's why you have Jasmine all over your mouth. Kabish. Very interesting. Thanks for the answer. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you for being here, and and spending your valuable time. Obuan asked me, what do you do for a living? All I do is smoke cigars and educate people and connect with the cigar world. That's what I do. That's my job, brother. I did not mean nothing but reality when I mentioned in my channel that there is cigar sommelier. That's my first and foremost work. My man, your style is amazing. Thank you, brother. Is there a calendar for events in 2024? Yes, there is a calendar for the event in 2024. Absolutely, yes. There is a calendar. There is 5 days program. So the first day is opening night, the second day is factory, the third day is intermediate night, the launching of a new cigar, and the fourth day is factories and celebrations, and the fifth day is the grand gala. So a 5 days program is all set. Nick Russell, if you ever get to Perth, Western Australia, come visit Cigar Social. Definitely, brother. If I ever come to that side, I will. Nick, of course, AJ is great friends with everybody, He's a global phenomenon. I just see him in Cyprus. I will meet him in Cuba, hopefully in a few days. My favorite cigar, Isaac. My favorite cigar, I smoke many different kinds of cigars. One of my favorite cigar is Trinidad Fundadores. Another one I could say that Hoyo Epicure Double Corona. Another one I could say Cohiba Siglo 6, a Behike 54. I like Achievement Sir Winston. So it depends on what, I like Cohiba Lancero. There are so many cigars which I like and fall in love with. So it depends on the occasion and the time. I smoke different kind of cigars. Do you make decent money making YouTube videos? No, the YouTube is restricted for youngsters. So my YouTube is kind of because of tobacco in it, and YouTube does not give you too much money unless your short goes viral. One of my short went viral. That was 104 million views. So there was a little bit of money there for a couple of months. But in the beginning, I was not requested for monetization. So when this video went viral to 104 million, my monetization status was 0. So then I requested for it. So I managed to get after 2 months. And you have a policy that it takes 1 or 2 months for you to get the money in your bank. So it does not give you too much money or anything. It's just that it's one of those things, Can you do a tour of your own humidor? I assume you have a private walking humidor. I don't have a private walking humidor, but one of these days I will do the tour. Definitely. A big shout out for you. Dami 91090. Bonjour de la France. Bonjour, senor. Please, could you collab with Top G? I will talk to Top G, and we can do something together. Not from Miami, Florida. Pac, gracias, senor. Kenny, you have a question. What do you think is the reason for Cuban excellence, supremacy in the cigar industry? Is it the earthy land, or in the master blenders? What makes them so special, especially compared to non-Cubans? Okay, There is one thing in the production of cigars, any world, it's known as domestication. You cannot just grow tobacco in a field what you find. So what happens is in Cuba, the land is so fertile. It's tropical island. It's great. You put anything, any crop, it will grow. But in order to create the land so domesticated perfectly well for the tobacco, it takes some time. So this is why Pinar is exceptional, because Pinar has been doing this process of production of cigars for many, many years, centuries, right? So that makes the land so special in creating the best tobacco in the world. And also, so we always say it's the land and the climate. The climate in Pinar, specifically Pinar, is so precious. You have an area where it's actually covered by a small mountain. I don't know how I call it, like look like a mountain. It is covering. Even if you have the best land and if you have the best climate, you still need the know-how. What will happen if there is a hurricane comes? What will happen if there is too much rainfall? What will happen if the tobacco plant is not responding to the current climate? You need the know-how. So this know-how is everything in tobacco blending, in tobacco fermentation, in tobacco aging. So Cuba, all these three elements, so perfect. You have a land which is domesticated very well. You have the climate, which is a divine climate connecting with the growing the best tobacco in the world. And the people of Cuba, they know the right things to do at the right time when we talk about growing tobacco. So it's put together. There is no magic in it, you know. It is so obvious that they get the best. In other countries, the climate is different. The land is different. Sometimes you have volcanic minerals. Sometimes you have a little bit of acidity in the land. Sometimes your mineral composition is not what you expect to have. I don't know, Kenny, you hear the story of this great cigar from 𝙃𝙖𝙗𝙢𝙢. 𝙃𝙗𝙗, when they did 𝙃𝙗𝙗, it took them 6 to 7 years to domesticate the land, because that is an area which they have created in Dominican Republic in order to create the stronger tobacco. So it took so much time for them to domesticate it. You know, domestication requires a lot of money, because you grow the crop, you flourish, it's the thing to come. So everything matters in the production. So that's why Cuba is in excellence of making the best tobacco. And also, you know, it's not that you can create this excellence for 5,000 cigars. It's not enough for the market. We are talking about millions, right? So you need to have a lot of tobacco. You cannot just, it is possible that a boutique farmer, a boutique brand owner can create best tobacco from Dominican Republic, watching the tobacco, making it perfect. But then what? You only have 5,000 cigars. The world cannot smoke 5,000 cigars. You know, it will be ending up shelves. So this is why you need mass production, and you need high quality, and you also need these gift from God, the land and the climate and the people to finish it. So that makes the Cuban cigar in excellence. So thank you very much, guys. I have been online 4 minutes and counting, and it's time for me to go, and it's an utmost pleasure to see you, everyone online, and speak to you. And can you have one more question there? There are few Cuban farmers who left Cuba to go outside of Cuba. For example, Padron, do you think they can achieve the same level of excellence? I mean, they're Cubans with a lot of experience. To be very honest, Jose Padron was 11 or 14 years old when he left Cuba. And he had experience as a kid growing tobacco and being part of this. It's true. However, now, because Cuba has a lot of changes in rules and, you know, lifestyle, there are people leaving the island. But that does not stop Cuba to lose their high premium quality tobacco production, because it's an industry which is massive. And remember this, and I always tell this, it can happen anything to believe me, the patriotism of Cubans, I'm not talking about the guys you see in Havana. They're amazing, they have it too, they are youngsters, new generation. The farmers in Pinar del Rio and rest of the region, my connection is getting bad. I hope you are here. I hope the connection gets better because I can see the reconnection is good. It's connected back. So, in Cuba, the patriotism of Cubans is unbelievable. Specifically the farmers, their only joy is to produce this crop. You know, if you ask them that leave the home and then do something else, they probably won't do it because they don't have the satisfaction. Everybody jump into becoming a taxi driver these days in Havana because they get more money by a taxi driver. In the end, they go back. I've seen so many people. They come a year or two, the youngsters, they come and say that, oh, I come from Pinar del Rio. My grandfather and father has tobacco farms, but we don't make enough money, so I'm becoming a driver. Another year later, they go back because that's what they are born for. That's what gives them satisfaction. That's what makes them passionate. They cannot sleep at night without that satisfaction. They're very patriotic. And that's the reason that Fidel succeeded by keeping the country a revolutionary or communist country, because of this. So I don't think that a couple of guys leaving the island makes a big difference. Cuba will excel by creating more people, more education, more connection with the tobacco, the land, and the climate. I don't think that it changes. It has never changed in last 500, 600, or if not more. So it's not going to change now. It would have changed long time ago when Cuba had bigger issues. So amazing brothers and sisters. I'm going to sign off. It's almost 1 hour. I come for a 30 minutes quick chat. So amazing chat with everyone.